Hello, my friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're having a beautiful day so far or have had a beautiful day up to this point. Now it's just going to get better with all this great writing that we're doing. Listen, I'm going to share my screen because I have a couple of things that I want to go over with you. I haven't done this in a couple of weeks, and I think it's important to share screens sometimes. So far, we've learned some skills that when we write answers to questions about passages and stories and texts, we read with a pencil. We read that passage with a pencil so that we can take notes and in the margin and write check marks and circle things and underline things and just help us read and think visibly. Another thing that we learned was that we read the questions about what we're reading first. And that reading the question first helps us know what we're going to be reading about. So it's kind of like a precursor, but it also helps us sort of think about what we want to learn while we're reading it. Oh, I'm looking for that particular detail. Oh, there it is. Now I know the answer to that question. We also want to read all of the text before reading. So if it says directions, read this story, now we know it's a fiction piece. Answer questions 33 and 34. Now I know I've got 2 questions to answer. I don't want to skip anything. You know, and then The Hungry Caterpillar by, oh, I know The Hungry Caterpillar. I've read that story before. So sometimes you will have information in those directions that appear before you even actually start reading the story. So today you're going to do that, and in addition to all of that, you will include transition words and phrases while you are adding your answer to your piece. So words and P-H-R-A-S-E-S, phrases, okay? So you might say, you know, the answer to the question, and then one way I know this, another way I know this. First of all, furthermore, I also think that this shows all of these types of words strung together are going to help clarify what you mean when you write. In addition to that, I want you to practice a new skill. This new skill is called quoting the passage. Now, some of you are already doing it, but I want you to be very explicit about it today. I want you in one of your 2 details. You're going to have restating the question, answering the question, detail, detail. One of those details. I want it to be an actual quote. Now, if you're going to quote the passage, if you're going to literally lift something right out of the passage and stick it on your paper, often the quote doesn't stand on its own. It doesn't hold on its own. You need something to support it so that it makes sense to your reader. Well, what does that have to do with what does that have to do with anything? So I'm going to give you an example of what I mean. Here's a little passage. I just made this up a few minutes ago. All right, here we go. Susie, my favorite girl in the world, Susie went to the store. She bought a lot of groceries. In her bag were bags of potatoes, a gallon of milk, and cans of tomatoes for her Sunday supper. By the time she got home, her hands were red and her arms were sore. How do we know that Susie needed to rest? Susie needed to rest because, and here's my answer, she carried a lot of things home from the store. The text says she had milk, potatoes, and tomatoes. This shows that she would be tired since these are heavy items. I'm not only saying the detail, the text said that she had milk, potatoes, and tomatoes, but I'm explaining what those details have to do with my answer to my question. Also, the text said, and now I'm quoting it exactly, her arms were sore. Now I'm going to explain what that has to do with carrying a lot of things home from the store. Well, sore arms would definitely happen after carrying the bags home. This would lead to a well-deserved nap. Okay? I want you to be clear. Don't just throw things onto the paper and expect that the reader or the scorer or the person like me is going to know what you mean. I have to be really, really specific about it. So you're going to read the passage, Go Fish Today. This one's a little bit longer, and I'm not going to read it to you. It's 3 pages today instead of 2. But it's not difficult. It's 3 pages that look like this, which hopefully right now you have in front of you because you've been doing this. And then there's only one question. I already actually answered it. Only one question. So I want you to read the passage, answer the question. And then tomorrow there'll be a sample of what that might look like. I want you to know that this question has many, many possibilities, just like most of them. The key is to support it with details from the text. So once you say, the question, for example, for today is, why is Thomas swelling like a blowfish in paragraph 39? All right, well, go to paragraph 39, circle it like I did. And then when you get there, you're like, oh, I wonder why he is swelling like a blowfish. What does that mean, he's swelling? What part of his body is swelling? Is his side swelling? Are his calves swelling? Is his head swelling? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And if it is swelling, well, why? Why is he? What does that usually mean when your head's swelling? If it is your head, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not the head that's swelling. All right. Have fun with this. Do your best. It's only one question. Please don't rush through it and go, what should I do when I'm done? Make the best use of your time. Don't let anybody outwork you today. Okay? All right. I believe in you. You got this. I'm not going to sing the song.